Hey guys, got a nice quiet night here. I thought it'd be fun to document the tree growth as a means of also showing you around our fruit tree collection. Some of them are a year old, some of them are 2 years old. So the first one I come upon is from Whiffle Tree Farms, and it's a 4-in-1 apple combo. Now some of these I've heard of and some I haven't. They're grafted trees, of course. You got your Honeycrisp, which I've heard of, a cane apple, not sure if I'm saying that right, but never heard of that one. And that's just a small little graft. Chalice apple, not sure of that one either. And the good old Spartan. However, this tree so far is doing pretty good. This is the first year for it. It came very small, very pruned, and it's got lots of new growth, which is nice to see. And we'll move on to the next one. The next tree we come up to in the collection here is another one from Whiffle Tree Farms. A friend of mine told me about this farm, and she placed an order. Added 2 trees to that order myself. This one is a, of course, fruit cocktail tree. It's just got multiple fruits on it. Green gauge plum, the apricot, and another plum, Nadia plum. And the fourth is a frost peach. Now the frost peach I'm really excited about because I love peaches. And I'm hoping that they really take off like this tree has. You can see incredible new growth. And this is just the first year for this. It's planted in the spring just a few months ago, and it has taken off like crazy. All our trees we've added fruit spikes to for an additional little supplement of food. We're lucky, the soil around here is great. So all in all, this little tree has grown much bigger since we received it. Next tree we've got here is about 6 feet tall, maybe at the most. If you want to call it a tree, it's more bushy. But it is the van cherry. The popular, expensive van cherry. And they need a different variety to cross-pollinate. And luckily we have one. So yeah, these things grow about 8 to 9 meters high. And the spread is about the same. So that'll be exciting to see this thing really take off. This has also sprouted tons of new growth, which is a great sign. Here's another one of my favorites, but they're all my favorites because I just love fruit trees in general. This is a Reliance peach tree. Now these get to about 5 meters, 15 feet, whatever you want to call it, high. This one's probably around 8 feet now. Tons of new growth. Just doing super good. Another one that's really taken off, really grown a lot higher since I put it in. This is a 2nd-year tree along with the cherry tree prior to this one, our 2nd year. It did have little fuzzy peaches on it, but they've either been knocked off, I'm just trying to find one now, or the birds have got it. But really looking forward to this thing and seeing these peaches grow. Here is our other cherry tree. Now this one's just been planted for about 2 weeks, and it is I call it the German cherry, but Hittelfingen sweet cherry tree. This cherry is popular in strudel. It's got to be about 8 feet as well. It's a really nice looking tree. The trunk looks kind of skinny as it goes up, but it's actually got a nice size trunk on it here. I don't imagine anything will happen with it this year. However, next year, one of the nice things about fruit trees is they give off great looking blooms in the spring, so that's something to look forward to as well. So I gotta say, we're in zone 5 here, 5A, and all these trees are zoned for us. They're either 5 or 5As, so it's kind of borderline. This cherry tree right here, I don't know how you'll ever pick the cherries, or how I will. I guess I'll have to climb it, but it's a 20 or 30 footer once it's fully grown. Next up in the collection is a pear tree. This, I believe, I've lost the tag on it now, but I believe it was a clap pear tree. And I bought it bare root. It was super cheap. It was 30 bucks, and it was probably only about 6 feet tall. Now it's 12. It's huge. It did have a single pear on it this year, but it's gone. I imagine, like I said, another bird got it. But it's doing well. Last year we struggled with a bit of black mold, and we sprayed it with copper spray. This year it's not doing too bad. It's got a really nice shape. So we're excited to see what this thing puts out. Next is this poor, sad looking pear tree. Had to buy a second one. The one I had here actually died. And this one looks like it's dying too, but actually it's still alive. It's new this year. For pears to help them pollinate, you do need 2 different kinds. So this one I went with the Bosque pear, and they get as wide as they do tall, which is anywhere between 10 and 15 feet. Could be more. So yeah, this one will be nice to check in on again in a while when I touch base, because it's looking pretty scrawny. I'm hoping it takes off. Okay, next up is this bushy looking thing. It's another combination tree. Combination plum tree, actually. That's just some planting instructions. Satsuma plum. I don't remember what's on here. Italian plum. Santa Rosa plum. And beauty plum. They should be real beauties. Now, something weird happened with this tree recently. Is this purple tag was on down here, as you can see, this band, and it looks like it squeezed the graft too tight, perhaps, but I mean, there's new growth right here on this branch, but as they move up, it's dead. So I'm not quite going to remove it yet. Could just be leaf damage. I mean, it's still super green when I scratch the bark, so it is still alive. Hopefully just the leaves, hopefully it just strangulated it. I don't know, I'm not really sure what happened, but definitely not cutting it off yet. But it's healthy, it flowered. It did have little looking plums on it in places, but of course they're all gone, and I can't see any. But we have the worst infestation of tent caterpillars this year. It's terrible. And I'll show you in a second. I gotta prune one of my red maples because they've infested it so quickly. It's sad. They sprayed for them years ago, but they're back with a vengeance. Alright, last one. This is another fruit cocktail tree. As we can see here, fruit cocktail, three-way, gold apricot, lapin cherry. So this is our third cherry tree now, which is great. Lapin cherries are fantastic. And the other graft is the Italian prune. And I think the other tree over there has an Italian prune on it, but that's okay. Just more cross-pollination. But this thing, like the rest of them, has so much new growth. So happy with that. Even if it doesn't bear fruit, it will. But just to see all the new growth is great. Okay guys, I'm up here at the top of my red maple on a ladder because I have to try and surgically remove the dead leaves without hurting too much, because these red maples take so long to grow as it is. I don't want to remove too much. This is all the tent caterpillar damage. This is what they do. If you guys have these things, let me know. We spray soap and water and it does a good job at killing them, and thankfully it hasn't touched our fruit trees. You can see them all right there. They've hatched and there's so many other little babies growing. They get really big. They're gross. Anyway, that's it guys. Gonna remove these, clean it up, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the tour, and we'll talk to you again soon.